Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Hello, friends. We are back. And today's episode, I'm going to be sharing a snippet of a replay of what I did in my workshop last week. And it's about your next level self, your next level mindset, next level you. But this is from a different lens. This is not your typical mindset of confidence and imposter syndrome. And like in the very beginning of your business, there's mindset pieces that you have to work through. Like everyone has to work through these in the beginning, but then as you evolve in your business, as you start to make money and you hit 20K years and then 50K years and then 75K years and then 150, 200K years, this mindset work and identity work continues to evolve, right? This game of entrepreneurship is not about how much you know. It's not about how many certifications you have. It's not about how many books you've read. It's not about degrees. It's about personal development. And your success is and forever will be tied to personal development. And the more you are willing to do the identity work, the more you're willing to really dive into this self work, the more successful you will be and you will become. And I think I got my master's degree in this through life. Not only my whole life has been lessons and learning and hardship and overcoming circumstances, but even this last year, I felt like everything I worked for up until last year then came back. It was this moment of more lessons, relearning the same lessons in life, in relationships, in business, boundaries, like all the things I had to then relearn again. And so now I feel like there is a reason for all of this, right? It's my own growth. I'm becoming my next level self. But at the same time, this is also what I love to talk about. It's what I love to teach. It's the energy. It's the self identity. It's how you view yourself and then how you put yourself out into the world. And so I'm going to be giving you guys a snippet of that training that I did in today's podcast. But before I play that snippet for you guys, I just want to do a little bit of catch up. On Monday, this last Monday, I dropped an episode for you guys. And that podcast episode was all about the coach school coming to an end and me then renaming and re-evolving my programs, both my programs, Offer Bootcamp also coming to an end. And this feels like such a long time coming because if you guys were here last year after the legal situation happened last February into March, I ended up shutting down my programs. And when I reopened my business in the spring/summer of last year, I was in this place where I was like, I worked for months with my team on pivoting. Like I worked for months and I was like, I really want to go into energy coaching, mindset, personal development, like life coaching, like more into this next level mentorship, but from a different lens. And it was almost like I almost wanted to get away from business. And then a few months of that, and I was like, but I really love coaching business, but like it's this all-encompassing thing. And so I went back to, doing what I've always done, which is coach school and Offer Bootcamp. And it just didn't feel right. There was just something missing, but I could not put my finger on it, but it was driving me crazy for a really long time. So I had, my team is like constantly walking through this journey with me and like, God bless their souls, because to be on my team through the last year has just been tough to say the least. Like I give them so much credit for sticking it out because if I was still a service provider and, still have my service providing agency and this is one of our clients, I would have been like, oh my gosh, like I can't deal with it because I was doing a lot of soul searching. I was doing a lot of refining my way while also leveling up at the same time. And it just created so much inner chaos for me because I felt like something is shifting, something is coming, something is happening, but it's not here yet. It's not like full circle for me yet. And so I kept searching for what that thing was. And finally, it's come full circle, but man, that journey felt long. The last year has felt extremely long trying to find that piece, right? And so they've had to kind of be in that journey of watching me from the sidelines, but also supporting my business at the same time through it. And it's just been crazy. But I'm very, very excited that it's come full circle because this is it. Like you can feel it. It's one of those things where it's like almost hard to put into words because you can just feel it in your energy. You can feel it in your bones, your soul. Like you just feel it. And so now when I did this pivot, it was coming full circle to me that like I've coached service providers for a very long time, and I coached coaches for a very long time. And for me, I still coach coaches and service providers. But I think a lot of people then started to think like I only coached coaches because that was what my marketing was. And I was like, it's so much bigger than this. I don't love and enjoy the strategy. And I say that like I do enjoy strategy, but I don't enjoy strategy from a lens of like, this is how you build a funnel. This is how you set up your tech. This, like, I don't enjoy any of that at all. It's like not my zone of genius, which is why I have my amazing unicorn special, amazing assistant / OBM / tech queen, Courtney, who's on my team and also supports our clients with tech. But it's just this, it's this thing where it's like strategy is so personal. And I learned that my own self for over and over and over again, where when you're in business, there's so many things that can work for you. And then there's things that might work for you. And then there's things that won't, but it's a personal journey. And through coaching, group coaching, even, I learned this because I coached last year. We had our $100,000 launch in coach school, and I coached a lot of students through building groups. And there were some students that it was like very easy and it worked really well and they made a lot of money. And then there was other students where like building the program took very long time, like almost a year. Like it took way longer than it should have because they just were finding their way. They were finding their path through it all. And then there was just some that like just it just didn't go anywhere. And so through that, I like learned, and then my own journey, that when I'm teaching strategy, it has to come from this place of it's almost personal, right? And that was where when I was talking to my team, I was like, I love proximity coaching. I love coaching my students hands-on every week, one-to-one, being in their life, being in their business, like fully understanding who they are and what makes them them, because I can coach them from such a different place. And then as I was coaching in my mastermind, I was learning that like some of those ladies want to start with membership or like have a membership, but they're coming from the service provider world. So they have an audience. And honestly, having a membership is like a great, it's like a great asset for their business. Where with my other students, I'm like, no, you should definitely not start with a membership. And then I was seeing like all these nuances, right, in business. And I'm like, I have always been very firm in that your business should be about your life first. It should mimic your life, what you want, and also who you are, because all of us here are very different. And the more people that would come through my space, it was like, Tay, I love working with you because you're bold and you're fierce and you're direct and you're to the point and you're willing to handhold and love me and cheer me on. But at the same time, you're willing to push me. And I connected with you because of your story. And I feel like you get it and you understand. Like that's why people come into my world, not because of group coaching, not because of some magical fucking strategy that you could probably learn on YouTube. And it will take you longer. But the point is that what I'm good at, what my zone of genius is to help you pull out these pieces that make you you. That those leadership pieces, those boldness, those authority pieces. And that's what I've done for every student across the board is help you become a better version of you, help you become more bold, have better boundaries, stand up for yourself, say the hard thing, have better copy and messaging and marketing, and also a strategy that works for you. And as I was coaching through Coach School and Offer Bootcamp, I was realizing that like I'm doing a lot of coaching every week, because not only every single week do we have calls together on Zoom and I'm coaching a room full of people, but also every single week I'm in Slack coaching every single student one-to-one 3 to 4 times a week, which is a lot of hands-on coaching from a coach. And so these proximity programs, not only do they need to match what I'm good at, what my skill set is, what I love to do, because it needs to light me up because I'm doing it 24/7, but also these programs need to be an energetic match of people. Like I need to be calling in these dreamy clients that I really love to work with, the women who are ready for their next level, the women who are ready to do the work, the women who are no longer playing small or in victim mode, and they're truly ready to like make their business a real business. They are ready to step into their authority, their power, their boldness, and also they're ready to stop playing by the rules. They're ready to work with a coach that's not going to tell them this is the only way to build your business, because I just simply don't believe that. Like I don't believe there's a one way. I don't believe there's a one size fits all type situation. And so I told my team, and then I also told you guys on the email list and social that like, hey, the coach school name needs to change because like it's not the coach school anymore. And that just doesn't fit what I'm doing. It doesn't fit this direction. It doesn't fit who I am. It's a very watered down version of myself. And I've watered down myself for a long time in this industry for so many reasons. And we're going to talk about that on the next episode of like watering yourself down. But I did that for so long that I was like, this just doesn't even feel like me anymore because it's so watered down and boring and vanilla and like step by step. And this is what everyone else is doing. And like, I fucking hate it. And I'm going to change it. And I'm just going to change it. And not only did I just decide and change it because I can, and it's my business and I need to love it, but I also changed it from this place of like, I don't care if I'm mid-launch. I don't care if I had 20 people on my wait list, like saying they wanted to join the coach school. Because the truth is, excuse me, I don't know what's going on today. A lot of these people who said, oh, I'm going to join next round. I'm going to join next round. I'm going to join next round. Don't. Every time they're like, sorry guys. Every time they're like, when the doors open again, I will be there. And then they're not there. And then they don't join. And then they're not ready because they think that something magical is going to happen within 3 months and something's going to come down and like just smack them in the face, give them new clients and more money. And like their world's just going to shift in 3 months, even though they've done nothing to change that. They haven't changed their mindset. They haven't changed their strategy. They haven't changed their approach. They're not willing to take risks. They're not willing to play at the next level. And so magically, this is just going to change for them in 3 months and then they'll be ready. And they never are. And so instead of holding on to what I've always done and what's worked in the past and holding on to this watered down version of me, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I am not going to do that. And here's how I actually want it to work. And here's how I actually want it to look. And that was how I decided I'm going to have 2 proximity programs, 2 programs that are very, very hands-on with me all the time, every single week for 9 months or 12 months. The reason I do 9 to 12 months is because I am a firm believer in giving you what you need, not what you want. Some of you were like, I only want to be in a program for 3 months. I only want to be in a program for 4 weeks. I only want to be in a program for 6 months. Here's the thing is I could sell you bullshit. I could sell you and say, yeah, sure, let's do it. Let's do an 8-week program. Let's do a 6-month program because that's what you want. When I know it's going to take you at least 3 to 6 months to consume the content, work with me, and start evolving into this new version of you. I know it takes minimum a year. Not only do I know that from my own life and experience, but from every single client I've worked with, which is why I always do long-term mentorship, because I don't want to just give you what you want. I need to be the authority in this space. I need to be the leader of this space. And as the leader, I need to say, look, it's going to require commitment. It's going to require patience and it's going to require work. And that is going to require at least 3, 6, 9 months from you. So if it's going to take you 3 to 6 months minimum, I'm giving you 9 months because we know that life happens. Kids get sick. We take vacations, summers, whatever. And then with the 12-month program that used to be Coach School, that's now the Power Move, I give you 12 months because this is like next freaking level you. I am a firm believer in long-term mentorship to change your life. And also, I want to be in rooms with women who are not only committed and showing up and doing the work and highly ambitious and like ready to change their whole life, but when we work together long-term, I know so many things about you. I know what keeps holding you back. Like I can see it even though you're not seeing it. And that's a space I can coach you from that will allow you to change your whole life. The students that have been with me now for 2, 3, 4 years are the ones making the most progress and now quicker than ever because I can coach them from a totally different space where if you were to just come in for a month, 3 months, I'm like just scratching the surface of you. I'm like just now understanding you. And here's a perfect example is I have a private client. She's been in my world now for, I want to say like 4 years. And she came to me and she's like, I need help with my low ticket offer. Like, I don't know what to sell. And I was like, I'm not coaching you on your low ticket offer because right now you're in a season and a cycle of change and you're in a season of cycle of continuing to push your foot down on the gas of something that you've done for a long time and it hasn't worked. And so we're not going to keep pushing the gas on something that you've tried for 4 years and hasn't worked. We're going to dig deeper to the root cause of why it's not working. And then we spent 3 days digging into the root cause of why it's not working. And I found out that she doesn't actually even believe in this, what she was doing. She didn't even actually believe that she could do that type of coaching in that niche because she feels underqualified. Hello? That is subconsciously rooted and then driving the rest of what you do. No wonder it's not working. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why it's really important. So I built these programs from this place of long-term mentorship because I want you to see results, because I know you're ready for your next level. And this is about becoming your next level. So now I have 2 programs. Program number 1 is Authority. That program formerly was Offer Bootcamp. It's 9 months long, hands-on coaching every single week. It is group. It is $5,000. We do have a payment plan. It's all about stepping into your authority. It's about building credibility. It's about being seen as an authority in your space. It's about being known. It's about I want you to think of it like the foundational pieces of becoming a 6 and multi-6-figure leader and CEO of your business. Because then that's what we do in the power move. So authority is about establishing that credibility. It's about not watering yourself down. It's about really creating your niche and your offers and your business from this place of authority and owning your shit. And then the power move is the next level mastermind. It's a 12-month group coaching and mastermind. It's $10,000 investment. Applications are open right now. We start February 17th. It's a very small group because, again, it's lots of hands-on support and coaching. But the power move is where you embody all of this work. You embody your feminine energy, your receiving energy, so that you're not always living in this masculine energy of hustling and going. You're slowing down a bit more. You're taking the life first approach. You're really stepping into building a strong, bold brand presence. Again, you're not watering yourself down. You're not being vanilla. You're really, really becoming in your power. Like you're stepping into the power that you're meant to have in this business, in this world. You're stepping into your leadership. You're stepping into more self-trust and having better boundaries. You're saying no to people, no to clients. You're really working on your CEO money and mindset. You're really working on your next level sales and next level offers. So the offers that you're going to build in authority, which is probably like 1, maybe 2 offers, where in the power move, you're going to be really taking it up a notch. Like you're going to have a full offer suite. And for some of you, like one of my students in particular, she's a service provider and she's now moving into having like coaching packages. We're building 2 coaching packages for her. And also she has like 3 done for you offers all at the same time. She has like a full suite, but we're building her personal brand around that full suite. And so if you are ready to become next level you're ready to step into your power, you're ready to become this next level version of you, apply for the Power Move Mastermind. We start February 17th, but this is for the next level woman who's not ready to play small anymore. Like you're totally ready to stop playing by the rules. You've done that. You've been in business for a while. You've made money, but you're playing by the rules and it doesn't feel like you anymore. You don't feel like yourself. You feel like the watered down version. You feel like something's missing. You feel like it just doesn't feel the same. So that is where you're going to apply. So apply right now, and then let's jump into this replay from day 1 about becoming your next level self. As always, thank you guys for listening, and let's jump in. Today's session, we're going to talk a lot about your mindset, but from a different perspective. We're going to talk about belief, but from a different perspective. Becoming your next level self in business is 1000% tied to personal development, and it will forever be tied to personal development. How fast can you recognize the patterns that are holding you back, and how fast can you work through them? How fast can you believe something totally different and act completely different than what you have up until this point? That will be the number one thing that takes you from where you are now to your next level. How fast can I recognize the patterns? Can I recognize my habits? And can I do something different about it? Can I change it? How fast can I believe in something else? That will be what takes you from who you are today to your next level. It will not be just strategy. It just won't. It won't be chasing a different social media platform or trend. That will not be the thing. Here's the thing is, if at your core, you truly believe that people don't see you, people don't really care, you're doing something that a million other people are doing, you're not really that different. That is going to be what bleeds into your strategy, is that right there. Or when we go back to, well, who am I to charge this?
Who am I to launch group if I don't have a full one-to-one offer? Who am I to start coaching? I don't have X, Y, and Z certifications, degrees, fill in the blanks. And when it comes back down to that, that's what holds you back. That's another one is fear of being seen or fear of being vulnerable or fear of having when you're coaching a group of people. I see this a lot with people. They're fearful of different personalities or feedback. If you are afraid of feedback, you're afraid of what people might think of you, might say about you, or you're afraid that people might not be happy with you, or you have this perfectionism about you. Like everything has to be perfect. I have to make sure that every single person gets results. And you're like clinging on to these people for dear life, for validation, that will hold you back. So when you go out on podcasts, social media, and they're talking to you about mindset, for a lot of it's like, do you believe it can happen for you? Right? Like that is one piece of the puzzle, but it's so much deeper than this. And I always talk a lot about it from the perspective of like, what have you been taught? What were you raised to believe? What are the thoughts that you hang on to as truths and facts because somebody else told you to believe them? Money doesn't grow on trees. People with a lot of money are bad people. If you have a lot of money or you talk about money, you're whatever. You should be more humble. You should dress different. You shouldn't look like that. You're a mom. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't do that. Right? And you hold on to these ideas, and then you have to go out into the world and show people your confidence and speak up for yourself and dress a certain way and look a certain way. And then you're going to get feedback a lot in this industry. You're going to get feedback on your brand photos, your website, your colors, your prices, your packages, the way that you coach, the things that you say, the things that you do. Can you actually hold feedback without it creating this spiral of, ooh, I don't want to do that. That doesn't feel safe to me. So in today's class, we're going to talk a lot about the safety circle. I talked about this recently on social media. Your safety circle is your circle of comfort, right? Everyone has this. It's human. Like this is how humans operate. Is your safety circle is where you feel comfortable and safe. Okay? We know change, six-figure businesses, next level businesses are not built in the safety circle. They just aren't. They're built outside of the safety circle. For some of you, you've been unsafe your whole life because you grew up with unsafe partners and parents. So it either feels like comfort or it feels like hell, or maybe a mix of both, right? But you have to know what that safety circle is that you're not walking out of. So if your safety circle for you is, I'm going to stay here where there's not a lot of eyes on me, there's not a lot of people watching me, and I'm not going to go do and say big scary things, and I'm not going to go invest big scary amounts of money because I don't actually trust myself anyway. And then when I fail at this and it doesn't work for me, it's just going to validate that I knew it wouldn't work for me anyway. And those are usually subconscious beliefs. Subconsciously, a lot of us, we don't even realize that we think this isn't even going to work for me anyway. I want it, but I don't really think it's going to happen for me. But you like kind of hope it will. You like hope that it might like catch you by surprise and like happen for you. And it doesn't because you don't leave your safety circle. Because your safety circle is where you feel safe. It's where you feel comfortable. It's where you feel like nothing bad can happen inside the safety circle. Okay? And for a lot of you here, even I know you're like, no, I don't play small. I don't play safe. I don't I don't live in the safety circle. And I could call out multiple ways of where you're living in the safety circle. I'm going to use one of you as an example. You do it when you show up for sales. People are asking you questions. You're giving them your whole life in the DMs. You're like, I will coach you for 75 years in the DMs because I'm not going to directly sell to you. Or when I do sell to you, I'm going to do it like in a nonchalant, roundabout way. And then I'm going to give you 35 bonuses and I'm going to do 3 giveaways and I'm going to do 5 of these so that you think I'm worthy enough to buy from me. That happens a lot in sales. You don't know me. Taylor's like, yeah, you don't know me.
How do you sell yourself when okay, we're going to get to that. That's a great question. I think besides that is that I'm always going for knowledge. Ooh, this is a good one too. I see a lot of that. It's how much can I learn and digest because that is your safety circle. That feels good. Is more coaches, more mentors, more programs, more podcasts, more books, like learning all the things to validate that you're good at what you're good at and you know what you know and you can go out and sell it and make money doing it, right? Like that is you being in your safety circle. Same with like, I need a certification. No, you don't. I got my certification in 2021. I paid $21,000 for it. That piece of paper has done nothing to change my life or business. Nothing. Nobody cares that I'm certified. No one's hired me because I'm certified. And what I learned in certification was what I already knew. The only thing I learned in certification that I didn't know was how to coach people on addiction, how to coach people through weight loss and alcoholism. And that is not my niche. And I literally don't care. That was what I learned that was different than what I already knew. And I don't use it for my business. You don't need it. You don't need a certification. And I would rather you learn the skills it takes to make money and the skills of business versus the skills of coaching. Because the skills of coaching happens when you coach people. The skills of life happens when you go through life. You have to learn through trial and error. You have to learn through your mistakes. You have to learn through getting in the room and coaching the people. But the skills of business and making money are the skills you absolutely need to have not a hobby, but a business. That's where you're going to go to the next level. It's through the journey. I have told this story a million times, okay? When I hired my first ever like big girl coach in 2021, at the very beginning of 21, paid $10,000 for that coach. I about had a fucking stroke. I wanted to puke. I was terrified. That was the best money I ever spent. In 90 days, I made 3 times that investment back. Okay. But here's the thing is I put so much money on the line that I was like, I will be in every room. I will be at every call. I will have my camera on. I will ask questions and I will do the work. And in 6 months, I hit my first 6 figures. Here's what I account that to. Number one, getting in the room and doing the work. Getting in the room and being accountable for where I'm holding myself back, what I need to do, and also allowing myself to be vulnerable, having all the emotions, and doing it scared, doing it messy, doing it from a place of this is absolutely terrifying and I feel sick to my stomach and I'm very scared because this is so far out of my comfort zone and my safety zone. But I did it anyway. And I didn't do it from perfection. I did it from like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, this is really messy, but I'm going to go after it from a place of like, it's fun. It's exciting. Like, what's the worst that happens? What's the worst that happens? And that was what I count to my 6 figure year. It was like, I wanted it so bad. Like, I wanted 6 figures so bad. And I wanted 6 figures up to this point. But this year was like, I really, really want it. Here's what changed though. The years prior, I said I wanted it. I didn't do anything to have it. That year, I said I wanted it. I did every single thing to have it. I got in the room. I found a coach. I found a mentor. I found groups. I showed up. I did the coaching. I was accountable for what I was and wasn't doing. I did the work. I created a new offer. I created a group coaching program from not even having a full one-to-one offer. I was willing to go out and show my face and talk to people and network and invite people and be told no. I was willing to have people say like, don't DM me about your free event. I don't care. I don't care that you don't care. I'm still going to keep marketing my business. It's not going to be what shuts me down, right? That was what changed. You can want your goals all day long, but what are you willing to do to have them? What are you willing to change to have them? What are you willing to believe to have them? Because if you keep doing what you've always done, but you're like, I want it, I want it, I want it, it's not going to change. Which is also why I asked you guys, what is it that you say you're going to do once you hit a certain level? Here's the thing. I see this all the time is when we want something, we're telling our brain, I don't have it. It's not happening for me. I don't have it. It's creating lack. Here's the second piece is people wait to make decisions to think like a CEO, to think like a 6 figure business owner once they already have it. It doesn't work that way. You have to think it and feel it and show up as if it's already true. Then it becomes reality.
regardless of your circumstances. I heard this actually this morning, so I'm going to use this as an example. And I've used a similar example, but this one was like, oh, that was really good. There was a kid in high school who hung around with people who weren't great people. He was getting bad grades. He was failing out. His mom was like, look, you're getting in trouble. You need to like turn this around. And he took this test, this school test. I think it was like his SATs or something. And he got like a 1480, I think, out of 1600. And he proved to himself, like, oh, actually, I'm smart. And I'm just like sitting on these skills that I have to be really smart. Okay. Starts hanging out with new people. He starts to carry himself differently. He goes on in his adult life, becomes a very successful entrepreneur. And in that point where he becomes a very successful entrepreneur, he gets a call. Hey, we got your scores messed up. You actually got a 780. But he went out and operated in the world as if he was a genius, as if he was so smart, as if he was capable, because he believed that. And that's the difference between where you are today and where you're going. It's not just, I really want to have it, and I believe that it will happen for me eventually. Eventually and now are two different timelines. So we say that in 3 years, in 5 years, in next year, I'll create a group coaching program. Next year, I will launch a podcast. In 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, I will hire the coach. You're already setting a timeline of how long it will take. You're not allowing it to come in faster because you believe it will take at least that amount of time. So it will probably take double that amount of time. Versus if you said, this is going to happen for me in 3 to 6 months. And then you acted as if in 3 to 6 months it will happen for you. It'll probably happen for you by the end of the year. But if you say it won't happen for 1 to 3 to 5 years, you're going to double that time. Sure, it does usually take longer than what we anticipate. But when we anticipate it taking forever, it takes longer than forever. What decisions do you need to make now for your 6-figure self, for your next level self? What are those decisions? Tell me in the chat. What do you think the decisions are that you need to make now for your next level 6-figure self? Is it getting in the room? Is it getting a coach? Is it investing more? Is it showing up differently? Is it launching and creating a program? What happens when we make a belief and we look for evidence to prove it? Exactly. That's what our brains always do. Looks for evidence to prove it. And then it's like, oh, we don't have evidence of that. So then it tries to keep you safe because that's your brain's literal job, is to keep you safe. So then it's pushed away. Showing up differently and owning what I know and sharing it. Yes. Showing up in my authority I already have. Everything you just said. Stop being so scared to be big and bold. Yes. And this is what Coach School is about, is becoming your next level self. It's about being bold. It's about being fierce. It's about owning your shit. It's about owning your authority. Here's the thing is, the biggest things that happen, and I see it on social media, is the inspiring, motivating, relatable person, and you are in the friend zone and everyone thinks you're relatable and they watch your content. They do. And they like it. And they might even DM you like, you're so inspiring. You're so motivational. They don't buy from you. You are in the friend zone versus being that person and owning your shit. I am good at this. Here's the results. Here's what I do. Here's what I help so-and-so do. Here's the testimonials. Here's what I've done. Here's what I'm going to help you do. And standing on that firmly and confidently. Yeah. Finish my flipping website. Yeah. Here's the thing though. Guess what? You can go out and market yourself and sell yourself and make a lot of money without a website, without a finished website, without a great website. If you build a brand, a personal brand from a place of owning it, owning your confidence, owning your story, owning your journey. Here's what I know because here's what I've been through. Here's the truth, empowering and motivational. And also, here's what it's going to cost you. And here's what I'm going to show you how to do. And owning that space, owning that, believing it and acting as if. That's going to be what takes you from motivational, inspiring, and relatable to paid. People paying you. Okay? So when someone tells you, like, this happened to me recently, I rebranded, got new images, new colors. I had a person say, this is not relatable to me. I'm a plain mom. I don't dress like that. I don't wear makeup. My brand has nothing to do with the way that you look. It has everything to do with the way it makes you feel. That you are capable. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what other people told you you look like. You wear that outfit, makes you feel good. You do what makes you feel good because you show up being bold and fierce and in your energy and in your element. And that level of confidence, some people are not going to like. And some people are going to love it. Some people are going to be like, I want to feel like this. I want to be like this. The two things that have gotten me hired every year, all the time, has not been my strategy. It's been my story, the way that I connect to people, the way I make people feel, and the way that I articulate what I do. That's it. Connection, connect with them, story. Here's how we relate because of what I know, because of what I've been through, and how I articulate the results that you're going to get by working with me. Those are the two things. That's it. It's really that simple. And it gets overcomplicated a lot by thinking, well, I need to have this funnel and this formula and it has to look like that. No, it doesn't. People don't care about most of that shit. People don't. People want to know, do you understand me? Do you understand that I'm a special magical unicorn and that I have my own unique story and no one else is like me? And do you know how to fix my problems? And if you can articulate those two things to someone, they will buy from you every single time. Not because your website's pretty. If you're using, waiting to respond. Yes, that is me. That is me. Yes. Because my human design, I am a responder. So I have to be careful with the way that I respond to people. Very careful. Yeah. So tomorrow, in tomorrow's class, we're going to talk a lot about your energy and showing up as your next level self with your brand and the way that you brand yourself. And we're going to talk about like creating your alter ego is what I like to call it, or creating your character, whatever you like to say, right? Because building a brand, I think this is where a lot of people get confused. And because it is a personal brand, because it is a piece of you, it is a piece of your personality, it's a piece of your story, it's a piece of you, people get confused that I don't want to share everything about me to the world. I don't want to share my whole life with the world. I don't want everyone to see who I am. You get to build your character. And this character, I would advise you to build it from the version of you. You can call her your higher level self or whatever you want to call her, but you're going to build her from a version of, this is what I aspire to be. That is the woman I aspire to be, that version of you, not that version of someone else that you're trying to mimic. The higher level version of you. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So today, we're going to spend the rest of the time talking about the vision of what we're building and where we're going. In order to create the energy, in order to create the brand, in order to create the strategy, we have to know what we want and why we want it and why it's important to us. Why are we doing it anyway? Because here's what I can tell you. Through business, through being in business now for 8.5 years, and also being a mom, going through postpartum, taking months off, going through a legal case and taking months off in my business, more money does not equal immune to problems. More money does not mean life equals easier. You have to decide that you want to be a CEO, a business owner, a leader. You want to do this through thick and thin. It is yours. You want it. You're meant to be here. You're meant to make impact. You have to decide that right now. Because if you don't, those bad days will take you out of the game. I have seen it year after year after year. Coaches, online business owners, service industry, people are exiting every year because they're taken out of the game because they don't have enough skin in the game. Which is also why I believe that women who have come from some of the hardest circumstances and backgrounds are always the ones that win. Because they know what it's like to not want to get out of bed and not want to do it, and you have to do it anyway. And when you have that drive, nobody can take it from you. Nobody. That is the energy of your next level self. That is the energy of a 6-figure business owner. Nobody can take this shit away from me. Not a bad day, not a bad month, not a bad year. You can't take it from me. It is mine. I'm owning it. I believe it. I'm here to make an impact. This is my journey. This is my story. Do you believe that right now? Because if you don't, you have to clean that up immediately. Because that will be what takes you out, because you will get to the next level. You'll get to 20K, 50K, 75K, 100K, 200K, 250K, 300K, $900,000 brand. Last year, my brand in total made more than $900,000, and I had the worst year of my whole life and my whole business last year. And that could have taken someone easily out of the game. You are not immune to it being hard because you make more money. So do you believe, put in the chat, do you believe nobody can take this away from me? It is mine. I am going after my next level self, hell or high water.